TV. Appreciate that as well. And, of course, wherever it is that you get podcasts when you're listening as well. We appreciate all of you. Welcome in. We made it to the end of the week, gang, and it's about time for some football. That's a good thing. Had football last night. Felt like the Bills were kind of just going through the motion there. It was a weird sort of game, but, of course, there the Dolphins were playing their heart out, have a chance, and then Tua does what he does. Throws that ridiculous pick, and that is your ball game. And so 0-3 it is for the Dolphins, and they're probably not long for this world in terms of some certain personnel and certain coaches probably up on out of here. But we got a weekend's worth of college and pro football to look forward to. We will have the pregame for you on Saturday. Tom releases that at 9 a.m. on Saturdays. You can find it on the YouTube or the podcast.
And a footnote for subscribers, you will get it earlier on the boards. Oh. You, as a Warchant.com subscriber, you will get advantage of watching that earlier. If you wake up early, you'll have it. You shall have it.
I got to tell you, we did that pregame show this morning. I'll let everybody know because nothing's going to change between now and then. We already had the reports from both teams, so we thought, okay, let's go. Let's see what it is. And I thought, it's a mismatch of a game. What's the angle? And then Ela and I got in there and started talking and started doing the show, and it's tremendous. It's a tremendous pregame show. We whooped ass. It's fantastic.
We were in the groove.
I may listen to it on my way over to my son's football game tonight. It was that good.
I feel like we would do very well as a morning show because I think when I first started 16 years ago now as an intern, I think the brain waves were at their apex in the afternoons.
Sure.
But you went long ago to the morning strength.
Oh, yeah. Boom. I'm up, ready to go.
I've been there the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I was, what was it, 8:15?
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, it was kind of late in the morning.
Oh, man.
We were rolling. We had it going. So go listen to it. It's fun. Warchant Game Day, Tallahassee Game Day. It's good stuff. It's good. So, anyhow, this is a game that obviously Florida State's favored by more than 40 points, and you don't expect anything other than a lopsided affair. But I will say I'm excited about the game because this team has me excited. And that's that in and of itself. It's its own joy, right? What a great development that the team you root for, the program that we cover and root for and all of that is an interesting team. They care. They play hard. They're intense. They love one another. All the things that we like to see out of our favorite teams. We don't always get it. But when you recognize it and you see it, you want to see more of it. You like watching teams play like that. There are teams that I don't like throughout college football for one reason or another. But if I'm watching a game and they play the game the right way and they have the aforementioned characters, qualities, I should say, to them, that I'll go, you know what? I respect that. I like that. I like the way they play the game. They're a joy to watch. I think Florida, I know what you're going to say. Florida was like that last year in the second half of the season.
No, for sure. A lot of my rival teams over the years in whatever sport.
Yeah, I mean, there have been some that have been like that. Yeah.
Hey, man, that Braves team that won the World Series a few years ago.
Yeah,
they were really likable.
Really likable bunch. Yeah.
Unfortunate what they had across their chest, but that team played a good brand of the sport.
Right.
And you can see that.
Oh yeah, you can easily see it.
Yeah, it's nice when it's yours though.
But it's ours. That's what I mean. It's ours. We have it. We possess it right now, right here. This is what's happening. Florida State has that kind of a team, and that's not one of those backhanded compliments. That's not one of those, they play so hard and in lieu of being good. No, they're good. They're very good. They also happen to play hard. Now we're just trying to gauge how good. We're trying to get a feel. This game won't show us that. It'll show the other qualities that we know. We'll get to see some guys get back on the football field, which we're excited about. And I'm curious to see, how they manage the game. Coaches, that is, how do they manage the game? What are we going to do with the rotation in terms of how many people play? How long do they play? How long is Tommy Castellanos out there along with the rest of the starting offense? How quickly do they get to all of their quarterbacks? All the different things that we saw against East Texas, which was a lot of fun. It creates an environment. It creates, to me, a bond between players, coaches, fans, when everybody's invested and everybody's locked in because they know they got a chance to play, man. These coaches reward these players. We've seen it early on. Shockingly, we saw it against Alabama. To me, if ever there was going to be a game where you seriously limited the rotation because you knew you had 2 cupcakes and a bye moving forward, it would have been that game, right? You would have been like, no, look, our starting 22 got to get this done. Buck up, soldiers. But they played 25 guys on defense. And again, that creates this energy, this synergy as well. This, if I practice hard and do the right things and play well during the week, my coach notices it. And by the way, in games like this, I get to play. I get the chance to go out and show my wares.
What's interesting about that reality is I think it is a fair question through 2 games to say, is this defense deeper than the 2023 defense? I think it might be.
Deeper? Yeah.
Deeper. Doesn't mean that it has the top flight talent. Doesn't mean it has the superstars leading the way. Florida State had superstars leading the way in 2023 with Jared and Braden. I'd argue Renardo Green played at that level as well at corner. So you had some guys, and Jerry on, right? So you had some guys that are future NFL players. And at linebacker, you had 2 very good players as well. I don't know that anybody comes close to the level. Now, that's why you got 10 more games to play. But comes close to the level of a Jared Verse or a Braden Fisk on that defense at any respective position. Maybe Earl Little is your top candidate at Rover. But what I do know is when backups were on the field in 2023, I got nervous. And the Alabama game, I couldn't believe how many backups played when the game was over because I never felt like, why isn't this other guy on the field? They all got it done.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if that's a week 1 fluke because the scheme was flustering Alabama's offense or not. Won't learn that tomorrow, but you'll learn that on the road to Virginia, and you'll know after Miami whether or not we really have 24 dudes that you can roll out there on defense. But wow, what a question to be able to ask this soon in the season.
Well, and we get some guys back on offense too. LaWayne McCoy will play this week, and we'll see how many snaps he plays. But I think it's big to get him back. You've got to build a few more guys in the rotation at wide receiver. Right now, you just feel like you have 3 that you trust, and that's it. You got to get 5, 6 guys out there that you feel good about.
And one's been hurt a lot.
A lot.
Even in his brief Florida State tenure, he's been hurt an awful lot.
Squirrel's been hurt off and on. Really his whole career. He had that one great season with Tennessee where he stayed upright and was good to go and played and put up huge numbers. He's a very good player when he plays.
The thing is, we've talked a lot about quarterback and how you should have a backup ready to go because the way Tommy plays is such that you might need somebody for a quarter or half or a game. I would list Squirrel White as a higher, percentage candidate that you're going to need a backup receiver on the field. That's just what he's been.
Unfortunately, that's true.
And hopefully he's been snake bit early in his Florida State career and the next 10 games go without much to notice or talk about.
I would say this. I'm not playing him this week if I don't have to.
I would agree there.
Yeah, I'm not playing him if I don't have to this week. What's there to prove? And you need reps for other guys in that spot. And you have the ability to go do that now, at least with one guy, LaWayne McCoy. So I'll be interested to see that play out. This could be another big Chroma game where you get that kid 15 carries, and let's see what kind of gaudy numbers he throws up. I can't imagine there's a lot of guys on this Kent State team that have a lot of interest in sticking their head in there against a guy that's 220 pounds of, what for? Not repeatedly on a day like this where the athleticism and the size and the strength is very different.
Honestly, just looking at what they are, I feel like this is a day for shots down the field to Deuce because they look slow in the secondary. But if they know that and they're going to guard against it,
they'll play.
Then you'll play
shell over the top.
Well, and even or light boxes against the run, and then the question of what you're talking about, how often do you really want to bow up?
Yeah,
becomes a real question. And they're not a large group.
Release the beast and let him bludgeon. And also that runs the clock and shortens the game and gets you out of there. I mean, that's the other part of this. So Florida State, a huge favorite, obviously, and just wanting to see how many guys they play, how they manage the game. I don't think we can really question anymore whether or not there will be the requisite focus and what for that they bring to the table. They've shown it through 2 games, and if you're going to show up and play hard and violently against East Texas A&M, I suppose you're going to show up every week. That's a good thing.
What it's done is it has set a standard for this game. Typically, these types of games are not back-to-back on your schedule.
Right.
Unless you're Penn State. Then it's your first 3.
It's your first 3 right out the gates.
But they set a standard for themselves that they will be judged by. Tomorrow, did they come out for blood at the same level? I think you'll give a little bit of leeway because of the knowledge that you're playing Friday next week. And so maybe the coaching staff has an eye towards that in substitutions. But I mean, if they came out tomorrow and they looked a little flat to start, I think this fan base would go quickly from give me 8 wins to what the hell? You need to play like you did against East Texas A&M. That's the standard here.
Well, one of the things that happens when a team reveals who they are, reveals themselves to you, then it changes expectation, it changes projections, and it changes the way you think about who they are, what they are, and the way they should play. And I love that. I mean, that's a good thing. It's a little bit like success in the coaching ranks, which we always talk about. Comes up all the time when a guy's complaining. I'm like, look, man, you're not a victim of your success. There's a standard, and you helped build this standard. You deserve credit for it. I mean, it's way up here. And if you don't match it, people are going to call you out on it because they've grown to expect it. That's a compliment to who you are as a coach. This, like if I'm talking about Dabo right now, right? He begins his weekly press conference with a bitch fest about how he's not appreciated, basically. And, if they don't like winning, well, they can send me on down the road. Man, shut up and get out of here, that disingenuous nonsense. Like you don't know what the standard is. You said it. To your credit, Clemson matters because of you. They hadn't in forever. Don't act like it's a burden to have to play to a standard, a championship caliber standard. It's what the expectation is that you built, and that is a compliment to you. You should be happy the passion is where it's at, where people expect greatness. Now, are there fans in every fan base that are absolutely unreasonable? Of course, you hear them. We hear them. I see emails. It comes up in the chat. It comes up on the message boards. People tweet at me, and I'm like, okay, got it. Everybody's a little maniacal when we're fans. I mean, that's how it is. But you can't get bogged down in that. And for me, like for Florida State, to come out and show and prove the way that they did, to dominate Alabama at the line of scrimmage, changes your expectation for what this team can be this year. And then, of course, the way they play and they care and the way that the attention to detail and focus was present in both those first two games changes your outlook for the season, changes your expectation for what their ceiling is. And so now we sit here today like, okay, look, Kent's not going to give you a great game. They don't have the requisite skill to do so. But it's not about Kent, is it? We're looking at you. We're seeing, because we like what we see, we're looking at you, and we want to continue to watch development and growth and focus and a business-like attitude and intensity, all those things. And that's a good thing. That's not, people will call that moving the goalpost. No, we were given an example. We were given information, new data points. We were given an opportunity to reassess based on new information. That's just using your brain and your eyes.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with moving the goalposts when you acknowledge that you are moving the goalposts. The problem with moving the goalposts is when you don't acknowledge that you're moving them and you're trying to hoodwink somebody.
Right.
What, you think Vegas is going to keep the number at 7.5 the whole year because, well, we can't move the goalposts? No, they're changing the win-loss total. If you want to hop on that bet, new stuff has come to light, man. There's a beverage here, man, and we're drinking the good stuff this year.
Yeah, the new stuff that comes to light is fun when it's this kind of stuff. When it's the information that we've been given, when we get to put that into the machine, that is a nice thing and an exciting thing. We do get the benefit this weekend as we take care of business, hopefully in a manner that is satisfying against Kent State. We do get the good fortune of watching Miami and Florida play. And some other games. This is not a schedule that is littered with great games this weekend, but there are some fact-finding missions to go on. That's every week in college football. And, this week's no different. You get a chance to see a few teams step it up a little bit. Tom, I have a buddy who bet the Rice-Charlotte game last night, and I told him I was proud of him.
Because all he knows is Rice?
Nicely played. But he took Charlotte. And I jokingly said to him as we finished the conversation, I think you're in trouble, buddy. I can see it in Rice's eyes. They came to play today. And I was kidding. I had no idea whether Rice was going to show up to play. I have not seen Charlotte play this year. I have not seen Rice play this year. I did not bet the game. I had no opinion on it. But I was badgering him. And he's like, no. Charlotte's got this at home. It's a 2-point spread. I've got it part as my parlay. I said, look at the look in the Rice player's eyes. You're in trouble, buddy. So then I didn't see the end of this game because I didn't watch it. I was watching the NFL game, and I woke up this morning and saw that Rice won 28-17, and I just texted him nice and early as the sun was coming up, the look in their eyes.
I guess that means that you got to put Charlotte in the tent of suspicion, yeah? There you go.
There you go, Charlotte.
Now.
You're done.
Also, Charlotte Rice sounds like somebody who is genuinely a helpful worker at an organization.
Or an annoying girl that was in one of your classes in middle school.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The child version of Charlotte Rice.
Charlotte Rice was annoying as hell.
Why is this?
No, shut up, Charlotte. We're trying to leave.
That's right. We have recess.
The class is over. Charlotte Rice out here asking questions left and right. Yeah, Charlotte Rice went with you to the Dude Ranch, and you guys got on the bus so that you could go to the Dude Ranch in Leesburg, and Charlotte Rice wouldn't shut up. That's who Charlotte Rice is. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us next. We'll get his picks. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-SparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
On the front lines, fighting the insanity of the woke, it's Matt.
This defense is.
As the last locally owned FSU merchandise source in Tallahassee, we're proud to be a part of the Florida State experience and this community. If you're a Seminole like me, this is your store. Guard it in gold. Go Noles.
The 2025 hurricane season is here. Are your gutters and drains up for the challenge? If not, now's the time to call New Vision Gutters. Your trusted local team that keeps water out, no matter what the skies throw at you. Full service from top to bottom for gutter repairs, gutter installs, leaf and debris guards, drainage fixes. We handle it all. Don't wait for the next big storm to find out you've got a problem. Call locally owned New Vision Gutters today. We keep our minds in the gutters, so you don't have to. Online at newvisiongutters.com.
Here's the cold, hard truth. Your body needs more than you're giving it to stay healthy. And now it's easier than ever with Vigor, the all-new cold plunge tub from Hot Spring Spas. Available only at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Cold plunges reduce muscle soreness, boost mood, improve sleep, and so much more. It's not just a trend, it's science-backed wellness. And now you can have it in your own home. Ready to feel alive again? Pinch a Penny has the exclusive home use solution. Visit us on Capitol Circle Northeast and take the plunge.
Hey, let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the battle's end. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Libations Friday. It's loosey-goosey. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, and it's Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. That's a Friday for you. Always fun. We welcome him in now. Lee, my man, you got to be pumped, by the way. I know for a fact, I don't have to guess, that you will be at the Florida-Miami contest this Saturday. I imagine that will be a fun atmosphere, a loud atmosphere, and one in which, obviously, the Canes look to demolish a struggling Florida team. But I think the game itself is weird, and I can't wait to hear your opinion on it because I didn't like the 7.5 when it came out. I think Florida's defense is good. I don't know if Florida cares to be there, and so they could get blown the hell out. I think Miami's defense
lines up to 9.5 now, Jeff.
So is there an injury we don't know about? Why does this line keep climbing? I know Miami's good. Don't get me wrong. Let's lead with this game.
Well, who are you rooting for first?
I'm not rooting for either team. I can't root for either team. But if I'm being honest with you, Miami needs to win this game because you and I both know that there is a chance that we have, once again, the glorious Florida State-Miami top 10 rivalry matchup in Doak Campbell Stadium in 2 weeks. And the only thing that has to happen is that you can't screw it up and we can't go and lose to Virginia on a Friday night. If we don't, I want that because, Lee, you and I have experienced what that is.
Yeah.
It's truly the best rivalry in sport when they're both right.
I agree. So I don't think Florida is real good, but I will say that here's their weakness, their right tackle. Go back and watch the game against LSU. Horrendous. The kid's a turnstile. I'll never forget this in high school. We were watching film, and all of a sudden, my right tackle was his first or second start. I mean, he was as bad as the Florida tackle. And I think the first 2 or 3 series, I'm running for my life as a quarterback. We get into film study that next morning, and I'll never forget my head coach telling the right tackle, do me one favor. If you can't block the guy, he was a big kid. It was like, he was probably 6'4", 6'5", 285. That's big for a high school kid.
Yeah.
He told him, just lay down. Maybe the guy will trip over you. Something will happen. I think they're going to have to shorten DJ Lagway's drops. I don't think you're going to see very many 7-step drops. I think you'll see more 3- and 5-step drops because Miami's strength outside of Carson Beck and offensive line, a few other things, is their edge rusher. So they gotta alter that plan. We're going to find out how good Billy Napier is, and I don't think he's great as a play caller at all. They need to run the ball football more. They need to take some time off the clock, and I think they need to get a lead. You know what they would do if I was a coach? You remember this play, Florida State playing in the Orange Bowl. I forget the year. The opening kickoff, they receive it. The guy runs all the way to the right side and throws it back to who? To scores the touchdown, Jeff.
I forget the year, too. That's not Mark Vanover's year.
Dexter Carter,
that is right.
What year was that?
Well, that'd have been 92?
Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah.
Yeah, 91, 92?
Yeah, so they got to play with the lead, but I still think that 9.5 points is a lot in a rivalry game. I thought they outplayed LSU. 5 interceptions. I mean, that's a tough. Hey, Hard Rock when it's full is a tough place, but I think LSU is much tougher right now, and I think they're going to find a way to hang around this game. They might get a backdoor cover. This might come down to the last series, but I don't think Miami's going to win by 10 or more. I think Miami wins this game. I think they have a real scare, 26-24. I'm taking the points in Florida. I think you're shocked, aren't you?
I took Florida in the points, too. That's why I said I didn't like that number. When I saw it come out, I thought, man, I don't know. I really do think Florida's defense is good.
Yeah,
I think it's a very good defense. And now, look, what we can't know, and I don't know how you advise your clients when this happens, I view Florida right now through the prism of what I do in bowl season.
Yeah.
Who wants to be there and who doesn't?
Right.
Who cares deeply about winning this game and who doesn't? Look, Florida, you'd like to believe in the integrity of the game. You'd like to believe that you always get kids who are going to play hard, especially in a rivalry game. But we both know that doesn't always happen. Sometimes kids are going through the motion when their season is already blown to bits. And Florida has to be looking at their quarterback. They have to be looking at their situation with 2 losses already. And you just wonder, are they locked in? Well, if they're locked in, they'll play a close game. But if they're not, this could be a boat racing. This could be 40-7. You know, that you could see an ugly game. And I just never know how to gauge that this early in the season.
We don't know how good their running game. Jaden Ball, I think he's a quality running back. Just don't give him the ball enough.
Yeah.
They don't develop the run. I think this is Florida's last hand. If they fall behind, this is a good game, I think, to play in game.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like the game, you haven't made a bet, watch the first couple series. If Miami's up 10-0, 14-0, I think game set match. It's over.
I agree.
And they might fire Billy Napier after this game. They might not have any other choice. Because
if they lay down and get blown out, yeah.
Oh, Texas and Texas A&M will do a number on them. So going to be an interesting game. If Florida scores first or back and forth, it's first 2-3 series, it's 0-0, 3-0. Probably going to see a close game.
Michigan,
and I'm not going to the game either. I'm not going
what?
to the game.
What are you
I
doing?
got too much stuff going on here. So
I'm shocked. You are Mr. Miami going to the game.
And I got an invite to the 72 club. We're having another couple over. We're going to do dinner. I got a couple other games I want to watch. I mean, I like the Miami Notre Dame game. It was a standalone Sunday night game.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Next time Florida State comes down, I'll definitely be there just for you.
We'll have to. Michigan minus 2.5 against Nebraska. I leaned Michigan in this game. How do you see it?
So I think Michigan's the better team, 1 through 40 talent-wise. But I'm not so sure that they're going to win the game. Why do I say that? I think Underwood's a really good quarterback, true freshman. The game against Oklahoma, they were 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8. They were throwing the ball underneath. I mean, flanker screens, tight end. When you got 4 receivers in a pattern, you got to throw the ball past the sticks, and they weren't doing it enough. I think eventually Underwood is going to be an incredible quarterback. He's going to be a starter in the NFL and a good one. But I don't like their play calling. I like Dylan Raiola and their offensive coordinator, Dana Holgerson, a little bit better right now. Both were number 1 prospects coming out of high school. So that part is interesting. Also, Matt Rule, 5-2 when he was at Baylor as a home underdog. He is impressive preparing his team at home as a home dog. And Michigan's without their head coach, Sharon Moore, not that he's great.
I was going to say, it may help him.
Yeah. 2 weeks suspended. So he's not there. You know who their head coach is?
No.
Biff Back to the Future Poggi, who was at Charlotte. I mean the guy, if you don't look good, don't cut your sleeves off. I mean, you and I, we could probably hold our own.
Yeah.
But cuts his sleeves off on those sweatshirts above the shoulder. I mean,
what are we doing?
Not a good look for a guy like that. And he also is horrible making decisions on 4th down. I mean, when he was at Charlotte, if he should go for it, he would punt. If he should punt, he'd go for it.
He'd go for it. Yeah.
Turn out wrong. That's why he's fired. I think the wrong team's favored. Nebraska straight up 26-21.
Wow. Oklahoma and Auburn. Obviously, Oklahoma has been reborn. They imported an entirely new offense. It's working. They already had a good defense. It's still good. Auburn, not a bad start to the year, to say the least. Nope. Oklahoma minus 6.5 against Auburn.
So Jackson Arnold returns back to the scene of the crime. Don't see that too often. See it in the NFL, but you're starting to see it more in college football, NIL, and he's good. But most of his plays, if you watch their game against Baylor, were on broken plays, runs, and also time where he was able to buy time with his legs. I don't think he's going to have as much success against a better Oklahoma defense. And why do I say that? Brett Venables, the head coach, he calls the plays for the defense. And my head coach, both places, high school and college, he knew my strengths and weaknesses. I think Brent Venables is going to come up with a game plan here to limit Jackson Arnold. And John Mateer right now, he'd get my vote for being the Heisman Trophy winner. So I think he's a real difference maker, running and throwing the football, and he's an emotional leader. I like Oklahoma here, 30-20. What do you think, Mateer? Would you vote for him for the Heisman if you had to do it right now?
I had to do it right now. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look and survey the rest of the country. Mateer's been great. I've watched every Oklahoma game. I like Oklahoma. Always have family members who graduated from OU. So I was excited when they got Mateer, and he's been sensational. But
who would you vote for? Who are your top three right now?
I mean, we've watched 2 weeks of football in essence. Golly, who would I vote for right now? Well, I got to be honest with you. Mateer's on the list, but so's Carson Beck.
Right.
I mean,
he's been. I think he's two. I think he's two on.
I mean, Carson Beck right now. I might be leaning in that direction because they have a more impressive win right now.
Could you ever vote a Miami player if you had a Heisman? Okay.
Hey, I'll let you in on a secret. So I'm objective in this way. I can see great players. I can like players that play for rival teams. Right. Dan Morgan was one of my favorite players in the history of college football.
Bingo.
And I would have voted Dan Morgan to win the Heisman. He finished top 5. Right. I loved Dan Morgan. He played the game the right way. Andre Johnson was one of my favorite players in college football, and he was one of my favorite players in the NFL, and he's a Cane. They've existed, buddy. They've existed for me. Hey, listen, who didn't love to watch Sean Taylor play the game or Ed Reed played the game? No, I love good football players, and I like football players.
I agree, and that's great. Would you have voted for Cam Ward last year?
I guess. I mean, Cam was sensational. Miami had, and it was mainly because of the defense, but Miami had way too many games that were way too close against ass teams.
Not his fault, though.
I know. It's just,
I love Charlie Ward. I love, I grew up wearing, believe it or not, Florida State shirts a lot. I mean, I've rooted for all the Florida schools.
Well, there are people of a certain age, Lee, that I know very well that say, I don't hate any of the Florida schools. I root for them all to be great. They'll say to me, hey, I root for Florida State first and foremost, but I want Miami to win and I want Florida to win every week. I want us all to be great. We all remember the SI cover with the state of Florida on it. Right. And it basically just said home of the best football or whatever it was.
Right.
And I think there is a tinge of that with all of us, but the rivalry is the rivalry. So it's,
it's right. No, I agree. So
speaking of FSU, would you lay the 45.5 against Kent State?
I wouldn't, only because there's been a couple of the games actually. Kent State's not a good team. I mean, they're going with the youth movement. The starting quarterback,
he's good.
He was projected to be the 4th stringer coming in to fall camp. So they're going with younger players, running back, receiver, which I think is probably smart, but they actually been pretty good against the run. So, whatever that's worth here, I just think it's a little too high. I usually don't bet games like this. They might call off the dogs early. You never know when they're going to put in the backups. I think they win the game 48-10, 51-10. I'm going to take the points here in Kent State.
Yeah, that Drew DeShields kid's a pretty good player, though, for them, the quarterback that you're talking about. I like what I saw on tape with him. Real quick NFL game, Bucks given 6.5 against the Jets. I'll be honest with you, this is one of those games that has me very nervous. My Bucks have been playing great. I know that, too. It's fun to watch. 2 great wins. But they are as beat up as anybody in the NFL right now. They're missing a starting guard, a starting tackle, another offensive lineman. Obviously, Ibuka is hurt now too. Godwin is not back yet. McMillan's not back. I don't know who the hell, other than Evans, they're going to throw to.
But they have Baker.
They do have
Baker, the touchdown maker. And he is, for 3 other teams, I think, cast him off. So I'm not sure if Fields is going to play. If Fields doesn't play, I'm taking the Bucks here. Look at your text. I sent you a text.
Yeah, I saw the wagers. Yeah.
Before the year, I bet the Bucks at 15-1 to win the NFC. Now down to 10-1. Love the bet. Think they're going to find a way. Just the Jets here, the play calling is not good. I like the Bucks. They'll find a way. I have them winning this game 28-17. And how about this game of the week? Duke and NC State. Pretty evenly matched game. Big game here for both teams. Duke needs it after 2 straight losses. NC State's trying to stay undefeated. Let's see if they can get the job done. First 5 callers that call 800-400-9741, get it for free. 800-400-9741. You get Duke and NC State on me. And how about this? This is the promotion I get the most calls on, most emails, and most texts. Baker's Dozen. People love it because it's just 1 week. And if they're not already a client, they can try me out. If they've been a client and they hopped off for one reason or the other, time to get back on the bus. 13 games, only $97. You heard me correct. 13 games, just $97, just one place. And we've had some 12-1, 11-2, and 10-3 records. ParamountSports.com.
Baker's Dozen's one of our favorites. I always love it. Hey, there's the Sports Illustrated cover. Tom put it up. Yeah.
Wow.
Home of the best talent and the best teams, and that is correct. And I remember looking at that. And, yeah.
I'm going to be at a game. I'm going to be at a high school game tonight after I finish. I'm going to be at the Northwestern Columbus game.
Okay.
So, my best friend's the referee. So
I too will be at a high school game, except for it is Leon versus Port St. Joe, but I'm going to see my son play, who, by the way, last week, Lee, had a 58-yard touchdown. So there you go.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You gotta send me some video.
I will. I gotta send you. I'll send you one from a couple weeks ago. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Be well, good sir.
Yeah, you be well. And we played a prank on these guys, the other officials. So I went in there a couple years ago. I had a Sun Belt Conference shirt. They gave it at the Sun Belt Conference Media Days. And he introduced before the game me to the other referees. And he said that I was head of officiating for the Sun Belt Conference. And, every official wants to be move up to college. So you saw all these guys that were eating hot dogs. They all of a sudden put the hot dogs down and, they were sucking up. They're pulling the tummy in and had good times pranking them.
That's funny. Be good, man. Have a great weekend. All right.
See you, Jeff.
Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us every Libations Friday. This one, no different. We'll go back through, take a look at those games again, and his game of the week. And if you want it, 800-400-9741. Duke, NC State was that game of the week that you can get on Lee. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk FM, and Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Middle schooler was transported to UF Health Shands Hospital due to sustaining a concussion. He also had to receive stitches. The incident remains under investigation. This is Rachel Anay with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update. Brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. High temperatures reach up to 92. Winds out of the north around 5 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms tonight. Lows around 70. Mainly clear skies. Mainly sunny skies tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 92. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently 90.
Parker McCullum. With the man I am, what kind of man do you live 2025. Friday, September 26th, Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. Multi-platinum selling artist Parker McCullum. Special guests Ashley Cook and Cassie Ashton. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Parker McCullum Live.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy? I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood. Wow, good days. So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
And they still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Jaden Daniels out for the Commanders. That was announced earlier today. A few other announcements for the NFL. A lot of guys out. A lot of guys out this week. Should be interesting to watch all of this.
I don't know who the Commanders' backup quarterback is. I'm looking.
I do. I believe it is Mr. Mariota.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I've got McLaurin in my league.
I do too, and they never throw to him anyhow. Maybe they will now. I mean, it's so frustrating. We'll see. I know, he held out, and so you have that situation, but hadn't been good. Looks like Brock Purdy might play for the 49ers after all, so that'll be interesting to see. Just all kinds of quarterback news right now for everybody, but yeah, usually don't see it this early in the year. So many guys at key positions hurt for teams. Like you go to that, you think about that Rams-Eagles game. That's a game where I'm going to go under. I'm just going to bet the under on the game because I don't think by the way, Jalen's the only quarterback in the league that I'm aware of that hasn't thrown a touchdown pass yet. They don't throw the ball with these receivers that they have, and it drives you nuts to watch. But they can bludgeon you, and that's fine. And the Rams are anymore. I mean, where Stafford's going to be. He's a drop back passer. That's all there is. He doesn't move around anymore. And these two offensive lines are going to have their hands full with these two defensive lines. I could just see this being a pretty low scoring game. But the other problem, you and I were talking about the Bucs situation, and what's his name? Is it Quentin Johnson is the guy that's going to be a problem for them to try to block with a backup guard and a backup center
and a backup tackle next to him.
Next to him. Like that dude is going to wreak havoc up the middle against Baker, and no quarterback likes that.
Yeah. So one of your starting tackles is your starting center, and you lost your other starting tackle. So if you just look at your should be, and one of your starting guards is out for the year now. So if you're thinking about it logically, you've got a backup tackle at left tackle, a backup center, a backup right guard, and a backup right tackle in the NFL. I understand one of them moved to play a different position, but that's not how you would align them if you were all healthy. So they got real problems.
The other problem they have, Tom, is if you go and look at the depth, and I did because
we got a guy named Michael Jordan, and
they don't have this is a whole situation now. They're literally pulling up two guys from the practice squad. One of the practice squad players is a college free agent who's never played in the NFL. We just put him on the practice squad. He didn't even make the roster. Buddy, that's problematic.
Can we not just put Ali Marpet in a fat suit for a week?
Come on,
put him in one of those sumo suits they have at hockey intermissions.
The ACC is eyeing a significant shift in football scheduling, one that would require all member schools to play 10 games against Power 4 opponents. The number of conference games remains a sticking point, however, and could delay a formal vote. That's the direction, but lots of work to do, said CBS Sports' Brandon Marcello. Conference athletic directors are scheduled to meet Monday in Charlotte, and that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it would be if it goes to 9. Otherwise, it doesn't really concern us. We always schedule at least 10 games against power competition.
We do. I do like the trend, and I hope it happens across all major conferences. You ought not, nobody, not us, not anybody, be playing games like the one we played against East Texas A&M. Now, I know the counter to that is that's the funding for that entire athletic department, and that when you write that check to an East Texas A&M, you make it possible for them and the other sports to exist at a place like East Texas A&M. Here's the problem, man. you look around the country and you see these 77-3 games and these 80-0 games. What you don't see is that oftentimes when you read the follow-up stories, how many guys get hurt? How many guys on those teams that are out for the year? One guy lost his first-string quarterback and his second-string quarterback playing one of these games a week ago. So, great. You took the check, and you're starting the rest of your conference play now with your third-string quarterback. I also think in an era in which there's a 12-team playoff and you can lose 3 times, in theory, and make the playoff while also paying coaches in the neighborhood of $8, $9, $10 million a year, earn your money, man. Let's go. You don't get 4 free ass beatings.
No, but I think you should allow for one per program in Power 5. And if not, and I think you should. But if not, and we need to negotiate here, then move it to the spring game. And then have the spring game be a quasi-competitive, quarterbacks are not live game with a team from the FCS. Pay them less. It wouldn't be the same, but it would be something.
Yeah.
And then you could stage something that would be a little bit easier for folks to watch. And I think that the spring game itself will have a bit of a bounce back here now that there is no spring portal window anymore. So I would think that those are potentially back on the docket. Why not bring them back with a different face on them and have somebody else come into the building and train against you?
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm fine with that. I want to see fewer of these types of games like you have where you're facing an FCS team or somebody that has zero chance to compete with you. And it's again, because it's a 12-team playoff, you can lose a couple games and still make it. And the money's so great. Now players are being paid. That's the thing. Like, those rosters are much smaller than your rosters. They have a much lower caliber player, obviously, in terms of size, strength, speed, all of it. It's kind of gross. It's kind of gross when I see it. I mean, everybody does it. I'm not blaming us. I'm not saying that we're at fault. You look around the country, everybody has usually more than one of these kinds of games. I just don't like them across the board. I'd like to see you play even a Western Kentucky or something like that, as opposed to, an FCS school.
Well, in the rev share NIL era, now you're going to be looking under every rock for every $100,000 you can find or $300,000 you can find. And these are some of the checks that are being cut. For USF, I think they were paid $500,000 to play the University of Florida in Gainesville earlier this year and beat them.
Cash that check and cash that ass.
I believe that was in the fine print or the memo line of the check that USF added before they cashed it. So it was in a bank record.
Well done.
But yeah, you're probably going to want to save that money because athletic directors don't want to shutter sports. That's how you get fired as an athletic director. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that all of these programs are bloated because they didn't know where to stuff money from football television revenue. So they're looking for extra sources of revenue. This helps them get to a place where they don't have to cut $500,000.
Ribbon on this subject, but Commissioner Jim Phillips, I'm sure boldly stated this next.
What did I say?
Favors a model combining 9 league games.
I do.
With 1 Power 4 opponent required in non-conference play, echoing the SEC's recently approved approach.
I echo the SEC.
Under current ACC rules, schools are expected to schedule at least 1 non-conference Power 4 opponent annually, but enforcement has been inconsistent. Yeah. ACC officials acknowledge that a longer conference schedule could make high-profile non-conference games harder to maintain. Programs such as Louisville have future matchups lined up with Georgia and Texas A&M. I'll add to this conversation. Schools like Florida State have matchups with Alabama and Georgia and Florida. Yeah, keep going. We're just adding to the – and I'm throw in the years we played Notre Dame. You're like, holy moly.
Which will be next year.
Man,
it's a loaded slate next year.
I know we live in an era where it is very difficult to know what any team is going to be year over year, especially one, again, that traffics in the portal as much as we do. But I ask the football gods, as fervently as I can ask them, to please allow for us to put together back-to-back really good seasons, because I want nothing more than for us to beat the bejesus out of Notre Dame. After having gone up there, endured that nonsense, that ass-stomping, non-competitive game, and their ridiculous fans chirping the whole time that I'm sitting there with my family. Oh, no. I will hate them forevermore, and listen, I'm kicking onside kicks up 60.
Welcome.
I don't care.
Welcome. Love it.
Beat them and I love their coach. Beat them senseless.
Well, what if they went to 9 games? I don't know the answer to this. I do know what it would be. But they go to 9 games for next year. Let's say they announce that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have 4 high-profile games.
Yeah, we have Alabama. We have Georgia. No, we don't have Georgia next year.
No, we got Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, right.
We got Florida.
Florida, yeah.
We got Central Arkansas. I know which team's going to get cut, but we already scheduled it. Are you going to pay the fine for us? ACC? You going to pay that?
Well, I wonder.
It's your rule.
Yeah, I wonder what they would do if they implement that rule.
What if the out clause is $450,000? Y'all just cutting that check? All right. You better. We won't be on the hook for it.
So Notre Dame, Alabama, and Florida are the big non-conference games next year.
Yeah.
Well, Florida's annual.
You're not going
of
to
course.
cut Alabama because
No.
Alabama made the moves to keep our game in week 3 next year.
Yeah.
So we're keeping that. That's on.
Also, I want to go play Alabama and Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
So good. Let's go have fun with
Cut
it.
Notre Dame because they're not a part of the conference. How about that? Let's keep Central
Suck it,
Arkansas.
Notre Dame.
That's
Although
right.
I do want to play. I want to play him. I want to play him. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Mom will come in here and get her butt whooping is what she'll do. That's right. Let's keep this train rolling, baby. Chef Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV.
Go custom with your window coverings with help from Budget Blinds of Tallahassee. Budget Blinds brings their showroom to your home with dozens of color and pattern choices. Just tell them what you love and they'll make it happen. From designing custom draperies and Roman shades to color matching your blinds and shutters.
I'm Gary, the local owner of Budget Blinds Tallahassee, where you get beautiful style and expert service for any budget. Call 668-4835 for a free consultation online at budgetblinds.com/Tallahassee.
Hey everybody, this is Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. Been in the industry now for 22 years. I just made the move over to the nation's largest retail lender, Cross Country Mortgage, here to serve you in 7 states, including Florida, Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and the state of Texas. Here to offer better service, better rates, and if you were thinking about buying or if you've been on the fence and been waiting to call me, now is the time. You can still find me at loansforknowles.com. That is, again, loansforknowles.com. I've helped thousands of fellow Knowles get into their dream home, and I can't wait to help you get into yours. Give me a call today. I'm at 954-369-6171, or go to loansforknowles.com. Again, that's 954-369-6171, and that's loansforknowles.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 373031.
Every life tells a story. At Cornerstone Memorials, we help you preserve that story with care, compassion, and craftsmanship. Whether it's a custom headstone, a beautiful monument, or a heartfelt inscription, our family is here to serve yours. Visit cornerstonememorials.org and discover how we've helped Tallahassee families honor their loved ones for over 50 years. Choose Cornerstone Memorials because the memories of the ones we love deserve to last forever.
When your AC unit decides to give up the ghost, it doesn't always pick the best time. But no matter what time, day or night, or day of the week, you can call E&B Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll be out to bring your AC unit back to life. We've been repairing and replacing heating and air conditioning systems in the North Florida and South Georgia area since 1974. So when your air conditioner stops working, call E&B Heating and Air Conditioning to the rescue.
Tired of watching baseball score updates on your phone? Get off the bench and head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is your home for all MLB games in-state or nationwide. Enjoy the coldest drinks, Tallahassee's best wings, and watch your team in crystal clear comfort. And if you'd like to compete, come by Tuesday nights for CP Trivia and Thursday nights for Beer Bingo, where you can walk home with cold, hard cash. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee. Your sports flash update on Real Talk 93.3 in Tallahassee.
Jacksonville Jaguars of football, they match up against Houston coming up on Sunday. Receiver Brian Thomas Jr. is dealing with a wrist injury, and he was listed as a limited participant in practice on Thursday after he had been a full participant on Wednesday. Buccaneers getting ready for a game against the Jets on Sunday. Right tackle Luke Gedeke has been trying to play through a foot injury. Well, he's going to be out for a while. He has been placed on injured reserve, so he's going to miss at least the next 4 games. The Dolphins last night lose to Buffalo 31-21. They're now 0-3 as they get ready for a game against the Jets coming up a week from Monday. Baseball yesterday, Rays over the Blue Jays 4-0. They play the Red Sox tonight. Marlins beat the Rockies 9-7. They'll play the Rangers this evening. This Sports Flash is presented by Progressive. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo insurance and save with Progressive. I'm Matt Pauley on Real Talk 93.3.
It's Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances and save an additional $1,000 when you buy 4 select LG major appliances. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5 amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Get the job done for less at Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 9/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy place every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Water is your home's worst enemy. It finds cracks, soft spots, and weaknesses. But not on our watch. At Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing, we're veteran-owned and built different, driven by detail and the pursuit of excellence. We install seamless gutters, underground drainage, and waterproofing systems that don't fail. Because when you live with discipline, water doesn't stand a chance. Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing. Visit guttersolutions.net. With us, it's personal. A roof isn't decoration. It's your home's first line of defense. At GSWP Roofing, we treat every build like it's mission critical. We're GAF Master Elite certified, led by a former Marine. And we don't cut corners. We execute with discipline, precision, and materials that hold the line. Storm after storm, year after year. Repairs, replacements, full installs. This is roofing done by the book. No excuses, no shortcuts. GSWP Roofing. Online at gswproofing.com. With us, you're covered.
License number CCC 1335048.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel-tip boards and soft-tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint and a bite in the cool AC, or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Having fun. having fun. Mom will be along shortly in the second segment. We'll get our wagers in. Yeah, you ain't kidding, Tom. I was just going back and looking at this. This is I've never seen anything like this. That Bucs offensive line quite literally are going to be a bunch of dudes that, I mean, two of them weren't even in the league. If I had any cojones and thought the Jets were any good at all, I would just straight up pick them on the money line. You can't have a bunch of practice squad players on your offensive line and expect to win.
So are you cajone-less? What's going on here?
I just don't want to pick against us in the home opener. And Baker's special, man. He's doing some things right now. He finds ways. Who knows? But it would not be surprising.
How's their run defense? I think that's what we're going to have to try and do all game. Just run.
Well, the Jets aren't good, period. But, man, I just don't know the means by which you move. You move the ball. Got 2 college football games tonight. Tulsa taking on Oklahoma State. I took those points early in the week when I was getting 13.5. That's down to 9.5. I don't know what's going on in Stillwater, but Oklahoma State now just a 9.5-point favorite. And Iowa and Rutgers tonight. Iowa, a small favorite on the road in Piscataway, New Jersey, against Rutgers, just giving up 1.5. I don't know. Iowa's the type of team that'll win 17-16, and you'll be like, son of a, that 1.5 got me. How is that even possible?
1.5 is in play with them.
With them, it's in play.
100%.
I am excited about the noon game between Texas Tech and Utah on Saturday. We'll be making our way to the Indigo for the 1 o'clock. Let's get together, hang out, chat it up a little bit, and have some fun. I'm also interested at noon for that Arkansas-Memphis game, oddly enough. I don't think I'm interested in Syracuse-Clemson because I think Clemson's going to roll. But that said, if they don't, they'll tell you where their head's at. It's not a good Syracuse team this year. SMU-TCU, a lot of good noon games, believe it or not. I mean, it's relative. It's not this isn't a sterling slate, but a lot of good noon games.
Yeah, unless some of the patrons there at Indigo have very strong feelings, I'm going to request that one of those TVs at least includes in a split screen SMU-TCU. Going to be interested in that one. Going to want to get updates on that one.
And then during our time slot, if you're wondering,
it's our time.
We play at the same time that Oregon State play, Auburn, Oklahoma play, Tulane, Ole Miss. Ole Miss figures to not have their starting quarterback.
Well, that other kid played last week. He was good.
Yeah, he was. Nebraska, Michigan is on during that time. Like I said, Auburn, Oklahoma on during that time.
Good game.
Some good games right when we're playing as well. And then when you leave the stadium after watching the Noles roll big and you're talking to your friends and family, golly, another 70 burger. How about us? Every week now, the expectations are going to be lofty. You'll get in the car and you'll say, what are we going to get to see when we get home? And the answer is obviously 2 games in particular that you want to see. Really kind of just 2. There are more that I'll watch as well, but the 2 that you'll get home and want to watch are Florida, Miami, obviously, and Illinois, Indiana is another game that oddly, 2 ranked teams. All right, well, we'll watch.
Yeah, there was an ACC game. Let's see. Oh, Stanford, Virginia, just for the number, 16.5. Stanford likes to do the whole ball control thing. I always feel like 3 scores. They might go on the road, control the ball for 34 minutes and lose 24-10. And there you go. There's your cover.
There's your cover,
for the Cardinal.
Also, I wanted to say that Indiana is a prime example of how it is that the AP rankings aren't resume-based. Because if they were, for example, USF would still be in the top 25, and they'd be ahead of Indiana. But Indiana is ahead of USF. In fact, USF's not ranked. But Indiana resides in the top 20 because they beat Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State. Okay.
And yet they're a touchdown favorite. What is going on?
I think it went back down, Tom. I think that is a yo-yo line. It has been bizarre. Back and forth. I don't know if there's injury updates. Are we actually getting that? It's down to 6.5. I saw 5.5 this morning somewhere, so I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. One line that has remained rock solid, and I jumped on it, was Washington minus 20.5 against sorry, lowly Washington State. That poor program. It's depressing enough to live in Pullman. And now you got to go watch that team take this ass beating from their arch rivals. And I remember laughing going into the Washington bookstore when I was out in Seattle. It's a beautiful campus. And I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Washington. I like them. And I went into the bookstore to see if there were any cool shirts to buy. And I actually bought one. And I wore it for years, and I miss it. But that said, they had so many hate shirts for Pullman and for Washington State. And it's just weird to be clear across the country and see that the way that, the venom between those two programs. But all of Washington's criticisms of Washington State were hilarious because they basically centered around you're Hicks. You're out in the middle of nowhere. That's basically their
arrogant hippie city folk.
It was great. It was hilarious. It was kind of funny. I don't know, if I'll make the late game, but Wyoming and Colorado, Tom.
Oh, there you go. It's another big play for the Cowboys.
I know I'm not going to make the unique time that is Southern Cal taking on Michigan State at 11 p.m. Eastern time, which we talked about last week. They're trying to do more and more of this to get these 11 o'clock games. And I'm not against it. Look, I used to have fun just like everybody else with the Pac-12. Used to have a blast watching and chasing sometimes those Hawaii matchups that start at 11:59 p.m. Did you know that Fresno State and Hawaii start at 11:59 Eastern time this week?
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're kicking off at 11:59.
Keep it on a Saturday for the East Coast.
That's right. At 11:59, you can watch Fresno and Hawaii. And there was a time where, I'm sitting around watching Michigan State, Southern Cal at 11. I'm like, here we go. Let's keep the night rolling. That time has since passed.
Has it really?
If it's a great game, I might make myself do it, and I'll do it when we go out to Stanford because we're a 10:30 kick.
I'm just saying, once or twice a year when your pops is in town, you guys will watch the Pac-12.
Well, yes. Every once in a while, we'll get old school and be like, all right, let's steel ourselves, Dad. Usually involves some sort of expensive whiskey and some decisions that we'll regret. Waking up early in the morning because my eyes still open early.
Right. What's your food choice in that moment? Is it leftovers from what was before? Do you guys go and have somebody bring you something?
No, it's leftovers from whatever we had. I usually end up grilling some sort of feast, and I always have more than we need. So if you're going to make it for a 10:30 or 11 o'clock kickoff, you're like, there's still some of that steak back there that I got some more of that salmon, and the shrimp to go with. Something like that. So, and then Dad and I end up sitting down, and my wife is like, "I'm going to bed, and you'll just have to deal with the effects tomorrow. Good luck to you, honey." And she's gone. And then my dad's wife has been asleep for hours at that point. So that's the end of that. It's just he and I. But I will give my sons credit. They're up for it. They'll hang out. Bryce will come in. But who's playing?
I didn't realize he was a part of it. Now it's a 3-generation.
It's starting to happen.
Party.
It's starting to happen. It ends up happening with your kids, and you guys out there who have kids know this, especially if they, whether boy or girl, doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously, if they fall in love with football, they fall in love with football. Once you get bit by the bug, you're bit, and you want to learn more, and you want to know more. And then that is elevated when you're playing the game, and he plays, so it's, he recognizes formations and recognizes concepts and what teams and defenses are trying to do to offenses and why. And he'll be like, we run a version of this and, that kind of stuff, which is really cool. And I love hearing it. I love listening to it. I failed to tell you who's on the CW this weekend, everybody.
Oh,
Temple and Georgia Tech.
The Tom Brenneman game. If he calls one of ours this year and he sees the last name of our quarterback, he's going to have flashbacks. It's about a deep drive.
And there's a deep drive from Castellanos in that. We'll make it a 3-run game, isn't it what he says?
It's okay, Thom. He pronounces it differently. You use the L's. You use the L's in the pronunciation. Oh, thank God.
That was a bad broadcast last week on the CW, Florida and Miami.
I didn't have the sound on for it.
Miami and USF.
I did not have the sound on it. The bar had the sound on. By the time the game got back up and going, it was on Notre Dame, Texas. There were a lot of Midwesterners in town.
Yeah, it was not ideal. They're not spending the big money at the CW.
No,
They're not.
Dennis Miller's not investing.
They're not spending the big money at the CW for these broadcasts. It was it looked smoky.
Oh, really?
Well, that stadium tends to present that way at the Hard Rock.
Wipe the lens.
It is interesting. I think it's, they do the big smoke thing, but it stays that way throughout the night. I always notice that. You watch when Florida and Miami play this Saturday, once they come out and all that smoke lingers, it tends to stick around.
So one of the great things, probably the best thing about having the 4K upgrade on YouTube TV is those broadcasts do not have commercials. It just goes to the in-house camera. It's static, and you can hear the PA system, and you can hear whatever they're doing during the commercial breaks in the local stadium stuff. And for Miami and Notre Dame, I got to see the DJ booth near the 10, 20-yard line, because I've never been in that stadium. Actually, I've never been in it, period. But I certainly have not been in it for a Miami Hurricanes football game. So when you talk about that they broke out the DJ and they did all this stuff about 10 years ago, I can finally see it because I've got the wide angle. And they do deploy the smoke machine at least twice that I saw during commercial breaks.
Yeah, and it lingers. It hangs in the air. It's annoying. I don't know why they do it. I mean, I'm fine with the initial thing. That's always been.
They are.
Through the smoke has always been their thing. That's fine. At the beginning, you want to do that. That's your tradition. But to do it, to employ it throughout the game, you're like, what are we doing here, guys?
They also had the
can't
smoke.
See.
They had the smoke uniforms. This is what they wore against us in 2014.
We break early, if only because we've got to get to the picks with my mom. We'll do so here on the other side of this. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Barano Heating and Air Conditioning.
Feeling sluggish? Wake up your body the right way with Vigor. The all-new Vigor Cold Plunge Tub from Hot Spring Spas is now available exclusively at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Boost circulation, reduce inflammation, sharpen your focus, and more. Elite athletes do it daily, and now you can too. Experience the power of cold therapy in your own home. Come see the Vigor Cold Plunge, available only at Pinch a Penny on Capitol Circle Northeast and Greer Road.
Some men follow the crowd. Others take the long way, the wayward way. At thewaywardgent.com, we've curated the gear, gadgets, and grit every respectable man needs, from the fairway to the fire pit. We've identified the top-rated Amazon finds, so you don't have to. No fluff, just the good stuff. Visit thewaywardgent.com for the man who's not afraid to live a little off course. Thewaywardgent.com.
Florida man, why are you hobbling around like you got body slammed by a palm tree?
Well, I was boarding the house up for the hurricane, and Hank, my alligator, thought he would help.
Your alligator was helping?
Well, he was holding the ladder with his tail, but a gust of wind hit me like a jet ski at full throttle. Next thing you know, I'm airborne, plywood in hand, landing in the palmettos.
Florida man, have you been keeping up with your chiropractic adjustments?
I fell off track just like I fell off the ladder, and now my spine's more crooked than a pirate's treasure map.
Look, just like you prep your house for a hurricane, you gotta prep your body for the health storms life throws at you. Don't wait till your spine's blowing in the wind. Take action now.
You're right. I'm headed to Finn Chiropractic faster than Hank goes after a marshmallow.
Go to finnchiro.com, FENNCHIRO.com. That's finnchiro.com. Book your appointment now and take advantage of that online special.
I'm headed to Finn Chiropractic Boogity Boogity. Hank, get out of the cooler. That's for the hurricane party.
This fall in Tallahassee, sink into a night of worship and wonder with the Grace and Glory Tour with Crowder.
So lay down your
Thursday, October 2nd at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. Get ready for a night of grace and glory featuring passion music, Louis Giglio, Gary Hobie Carnes, and Jody Carnes. Thursday, October 2nd at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. Come be part of something unforgettable. Get tickets now at tuckerciviccenter.com.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
All right, so last night, Buffalo takes care of Miami 31-21. Quick note on that game. Tom, I think you said you didn't watch it, right?
That is correct.
All right, so I'll just point out something to you. The game itself was not very good, and here's what I mean by that. In terms of the quality of the game, Josh Allen only threw a pass beyond 10 yards beyond the line of scrimmage once last night. That's crazy. They never felt threatened, so that's why. They could run the ball with James Cook all night, and they did, and he was great. And then I told you something's going on with Tua. It's not that he was ever great, but he was better than what we're seeing now, and he's beginning to decline, I think, physically. They don't throw the ball down the field, partly because I don't think he can get it down the field, but over half of his completions were either at or behind the line of scrimmage. So if you're going to combine Josh Allen not throwing the ball beyond 10 yards downfield, and then you're going to combine with that, with Tua having half of his completions be at or up behind the line of scrimmage, what are you doing here? Where's the forward passing game? Where is the – I mean, it was –
It's also Thursday night, so they all go vanilla. I will cut a Thursday night game for my week for the NFL.
Well, I was interested to see how Miami would show up. Would they show? I figured they would play desperate. They would play hard at the very least. I mean, it's week 3. You know, that you got to play hard.
The brand power is there. The brand power is there, but there are so many of these matchups where on a short week, it's not going to be a representation of what these teams truly would be on normal rest.
Sure.
And it's a vanilla game plan. And so and Al Michaels doesn't want to be there. So if you don't want to be there, I don't want to be there. These teams don't want to be there because they're on 3 days rest. Next week, for example, you know where the game is being played?
No.
Arizona. Not happening.
Well, you wouldn't
Seahawks,
watch no matter what.
No, thank you.
I actually think that kind of sets up to be a good game.
No. 2 weeks, you got 49ers Rams in all the way.
Oh, boy. All right, let's welcome in Mom. Go ahead and cue it up, and we'll get to betting. I know we both had Buffalo last night.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
All right, Mom, welcome in as always. And, of course, I told you when we started this year, I wasn't fooling around with you this season.
I know. Well, I said to Tom, I have done terrible these last 2 weeks, but I think I'm just trying to lull you into a false sense of security.
So
because I was down by quite a few last year and came roaring back. So.
You did. You stunned me. I let my guard down, and I paid a dear price.
I know. So that's my psychology. But I'm going to tell you, this year is true. I have not been able to pick a thing, and it's only getting worse because now there's so many people are dropping like flies. There's so many injuries.
Yeah.
I can't tell who's playing, and oh my gosh, I don't know. But I did get that game last night, praise the Lord. I tell you what, but it was a terrible game to watch. I didn't think it was good at all.
Right. Well, that's what I just said. I mean, nobody was throwing the ball down the field. I did appreciate that Miami, fought hard, and they had a chance. They're right there. Chance to take the lead.
I know it. I was getting a little nervous. I was like, now come on, Buffalo. But in the end, I agree with you. It seems like something is wrong with Tua. I don't know what, but.
Well, he's been hurt a million times in his career. He's had knee and hip, and he's obviously been concussed 50,000 times. He's had all kinds of injuries, but.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, I did get that one right, but I have a couple of games that I am really just Oh, I just don't know. And I'll probably make the wrong decision, but we'll see.
Have a little faith in yourself. It's early. You seem a little rattled right now, but here's the point. Let's set the stage for everybody. I am currently up 4 on you.
You are.
After winning both of our differences a week ago. And so now I think lessons have been learned early on.
God. I don't know. I tell you what, like I said, I can't get over how many quarterbacks and then other players have been injured, and you don't know who's playing, and the poor Bucks. I mean, my Bucks. Oh my God, their line is decimated. That poor soul Barton, whoever he is that they put in for. Is he playing for Wirfs? I think he is.
Yeah, so Barton is our starting center, and he's a good one when he plays center. I've told you this before. He was on the team a year ago, and he was great at center. He's not a tackle.
He's not at listen, he is definitely not a tackle. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
They need to move him somewhere because I think I could have blocked better than that. I heard you say was I listening to Lee Sterling or something? He said they called somebody what do they call him? A revolving door, a turnstile?
Yeah, he had a hard time because Houston has a very good defensive line and actually has pass rushers, but you've got a guy playing out of position. I don't blame Barton at all. He's a good player. He's sacrificing and doing what the team is asking him to do. He's not a left tackle, and so he paid a dear price. But we won the game, and he was able to run block very well. So
okay, all right. Well, I'll give him another opportunity because I think I'm going to have to because I don't think Wirfs comes back for another week or two.
Yeah, another week or two, and you'll love Barton when he's back at center. Lest you forget, he played there all of last year. Here we go. You ready?
All right, I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready as I'm ever going to be.
Green Bay at Cleveland.
Oh, Green Bay.
Yeah, I'll pick Green Bay as well, but I think this is a low-scoring, close game. Indianapolis at Tennessee.
Indianapolis.
Sneaky good game. I, too, have Indianapolis. Cincinnati at Minnesota.
Oh, now, that is a crazy game, isn't it? And with that, poor Joe Burrow, he is injury-prone, bless his heart. I took Minnesota. I think without Joe Burrow, Cincinnati is going to really struggle.
I'm going to take Cincinnati to go on the road and beat the Vikings. I don't love Carson Wentz, although he could be an upgrade currently at quarterback for Minnesota as opposed to the rookie. And I like Browning at Cincinnati. The backup quarterback filled in nicely last week. He's had to play a ton because Joe Burrow gets hurt a lot, and so they change the offense when Browning's out there. They provide more protection. They get the ball out of his hands quickly. I think it benefits them. I'll take Cincinnati. We got one different there. Here's another game that's fun and interesting. Pittsburgh's at New England.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I took New England.
I am wrestling with this.
I wrestled with it, too. But I'll root against Aaron Rodgers any chance I get. So I took New England. I think New England's playing a little better.
They are. And I'm probably going to take New England. In fact, I have to pick it, so I will take New England. I'm wrestling with it in the other pools that I'm in, but I'll agree with you here. New England in a squeaker. The Rams are taking on the Eagles in a rematch of what was a great playoff game last year in Philadelphia. They meet again here, Lincoln Financial Field. Rams, Eagles.
I know. I took the Eagles.
I did as well. Jets at our Bucks, aforementioned.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to take Tampa Bay because they should beat the Jets. And it's our first home game back. I think everybody's going to be charged up. And, Lord knows, in Baker we trust. If he can do it 2 weeks in a row like he did, and our line can protect him at all, I'm taking the Bucks.
It's hard to pick against the Bucks in the home opener, especially against an opponent like the Jets, but I won't be surprised if they lose. Again, you either have your players or you don't. They're missing most of them. I don't know if Ibuka's going to play or not. I'll go with the Bucks too, but I think that game's close into the fourth quarter. The Raiders and the Commanders.
Who did you just say in the Commanders?
The Raiders and the Commanders.
Oh, the Raiders. Who did I take in that game? Now, I need to check that out.
By the way, just so you know, Jaden Daniels is not playing in the game for Washington.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But, I don't know, Las Vegas. Don't they have that Rattler guy?
No, that's New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans. Okay.
Get it together, mother.
Who does Vegas have?
Remember, they brought over Geno Smith.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, he's not any good either. I'm taking Washington.
I'm taking Washington as well. It's a tough game. I don't love it. Atlanta's at Carolina.
I know. I don't like this game at all, and I took Atlanta.
Of course you did. Houston's at Jacksonville.
Houston.
I'm taking Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville's good this year. It's time for them to wrestle away from Houston the upper hand in this rivalry. Jacksonville always loses to Houston. They find miracle ways to lose to Houston. Jags fans are listening to me now, nodding their head. Yes, they know it. It's your time, Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence has been sacked one time this year in 74 throws. This is a divisional matchup. The Jags are on the cusp of being good. I call them the Butts. I have for years. Get it together, Butts. It's time to win this game against Houston. Let's go.
No, that's not going to be this week.
All right, I got Jackson.
They're going to be on the cusp for another week.
No, it's Jacksonville's time. Denver at the Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers.
Good game, though. Really good game.
Yeah, it is a good game. I don't know what happened to Denver last week, but anyway, I didn't see that game, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm taking the Chargers.
Well, I watched that game, and I'll tell you what happened to Denver. They got screwed by the officials after the kid for Indianapolis.
Oh, my God, really?
Well, and I was happy.
Surprise.
I had the Colts.
Take the officials' side.
Well, they call a borderline personal foul on a field goal attempt as the clock struck 0 for Indianapolis from 60 yards. The guy missed it by a mile. They called that penalty where if you leap over the center and you push down on him to do it, leverage. Yeah.
Leverage.
Yeah, they called leverage, and it's close. I'm glad they called it because I had the Colts. So it was fine with me. But that's what happened to Denver. Anyhow, I, too, am taking the Chargers, who I think are legit good.
Yes, I know. Justin Herbert he's quite something.
New Orleans at Seattle.
Oh, yeah. I took Seattle.
Yeah. Dallas at Chicago, kind of an interesting game.
This game kills me. Now, I am telling you, and I'm going to, I'm probably going to regret this pick too, but I don't think Dallas is good at all. And I mean, they had to go into overtime to beat the poor Giants, and they were terrible the week before that. I'm taking Chicago. I think Chicago's on the cusp.
We'll see. I don't see any cusp for Chicago, who got run off the field last week by Detroit. They gave up over 50 points, and they were non-competitive.
But that's Detroit. That kid, isn't it Caleb Williams? Is that their quarterback?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, I think he's gonna be all right. I'm taking Chicago.
Give me the Cowboys to blow the Bears out. There we go. We got another one. Here we go. Arizona at San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm taking San Francisco. I don't know. They've got a lot of injuries too and everything, but I'm taking San Francisco at home.
You and me both. Kansas City's at the Giants. You're going to take Kansas City. We already know that, right?
Yeah, we are.
All right. Detroit at Baltimore. Fun Monday Night Football game.
I know that could be a barn burner. I am taking Baltimore. I am taking Baltimore. I'm not sure about Detroit. They've made me a little nervous. I like Detroit, but I'm taking Baltimore.
Well, you should take Baltimore because every time Baltimore plays a team from the NFC, they beat the brakes off of them. It's insane, this streak of Baltimore's dominance over the NFC. So I, too, will take Baltimore. All right, Tom, you flashed it on the screen, right? What are the different games we have? I'm up 4 as we go into this. There, I see it now.
We got 3 different.
Yeah, I've got the Bengals, the Jags, and the Cowboys.
All right, this week I'm turning the tide. I'm gonna get some of these games. I really am concerned about that Dallas-Chicago game, but I just can't pick Dallas, and I don't like Dallas, so it's hard for me to pick them. It's kind of like with Philadelphia. I have to pick them sometime, but I don't like them.
Well, that's fine, but you don't pick games based on who you like and dislike. You're trying to win games here, man.
No, I try to take my heart out of it, but it's hard. And listen, speaking of the officials, I just want to ask you this question. In that Bucs game, why in the world they call every little picky thing against us. They did not call that horse collar tackle on Baker. They pulled his whole necklace off. The guy had him by the back of his jersey. They never called that. I'm telling you.
Oh, Mom.
Oh, my God, I was infuriated. It's surprised you didn't hear me all the way to Tallahassee. I was like, what is wrong with these people?
They miss calls all the time. It's football. It's hard to officiate. I try to give a little bit of grace there. A little bit.
It's a lot of calls with us. I'll tell you that.
No, it's not.
The way they try to protect the quarterbacks, you can't even breathe on them, and they missed that whole thing, yanking him down by his neck. I was so annoyed.
Love you, Mom. Talk to you soon.
I love you too. Have a good weekend.
All right, bye-bye. You too. Bye-bye. There's Mom. Did you think it was a horse collar?
It was.
It was a horse collar.
100% a horse collar.
It was. Mom's starting to sound like her housemate, my stepdad. He thinks every call goes against the Bucs. Most fans think that every call goes against their team.
So through the first 2 weeks, I do think the opponent has had the better of it, but these things balance each other out.
Typically.
The biggest call we got was a roughing the passer down the stretch against Atlanta.
Because they had to make up for the egregious roughing the passer penalties, plural, on the Bucs.
That's right. And also every review, now that has nothing to do with, there are no makeup calls on a review, but every review went Atlanta's way down the stretch in that game.
And they still couldn't win.
That's right.
At home
That's
the Bucs, who's riddled with injury.
And made a lot of mistakes in that game. A lot of mistakes.
That'll just make you look long and hard into the distance.
Yeah.
At home, division rival, mistake laden, missed calls, injuries galore. You still couldn't beat the Bucs.
It'll make you look up in the standings is what it'll make you do.
That's exactly where it makes you look. Before I forget, and I definitely will, and Tom has instructed me to not forget this time around, let me at least tell you about the joys of some cornbread hemp. How about them apples? If life's been a little rough on you lately, you may want to unwind. Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies will allow you to do just that. If you're looking for a natural way to relieve aches and discomfort, CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp are formulated to work with your body, not against it. If you've tried everything under the sun to find peace of mind, perhaps Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies will do the trick. All products are third-party lab tested, USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. What I would tell you is take advantage of the offer. This is a good one. Jeff Cameron Show listeners can save 30% on their first order. Head to cornbreadhemp.com/warchant. Use code warchant at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/warchant. Use code warchant.
Your local news now.
An arrest has been made in connection to a shooting. Initially, the 22-year-old suspect was not located. However, he was later apprehended when he returned to the apartments. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. High temperatures reach up to 92. Winds out of the north around 5 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms tonight. Lows around 70. Mainly clear skies. Mainly sunny skies tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 92. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently 92.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark Construction.com. We conquer all creeks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark Construction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy?
I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood.
Oh, good days.
So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
But they still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
So you would have been proud of me yesterday, Tom. I was able to navigate the world of electronics and technology in general.
Stop the press.
2 different ways I had to do this.
All right.
So this will make you laugh very quickly. I got suspended from one of the pools that I'm in. Okay, so one of these pools is a pretty big money pool. I joined said pool.
Send them a selfie that you weren't supposed to?
No. I joined this pool this year. This is in addition to the other pool that I really like that I'm in. But this one I joined because I'm already in it with 2 other guys. We joined our money together and entered this other pool. And then I decided I was getting tired of their picks. They were pissing me off. Their picks weren't as good as my picks, and they were bringing us down. And so I said, well, I'm not doing that. So I am doing that with them, but then I thought I'll put my own entry in and whoop y'all's ass because you always have to, because we're trying to divvy it up and be fair. So you take 3 of mine, 3 of his, 3 of theirs, then we pick a mutual one or whatever, because it's 10 picks. So I was like, nope, I'm doing my own. So I joined it. But when I joined it, there was no indicator as to where to send my money to join the pool. Like, whom do I send this money to?
Your money's no good here, sir.
So I was surprised that after week 1, I didn't get a notice from the guy that's running the pool. I figured he would reach out because you have to put your name in. You have to put your whatever your name is online, and you have to put your email address and your information. And I figured that I'm going to hear from this guy. Like, hey, buddy, who the hell are you? Like that kind of a thing. Where's your money?
Were you quarter stealer 69?
No. No. So I ended up, I was like, all right, well, maybe he collects at the end of the year. I don't know how this goes, but at some point. So then anyhow, week 2 goes by and I'm doing pretty well in that pool. I'm having some success. I'm upper crust right now in that pool. I've got a chance to be in the money, and there's good money. Still no notices, nothing. Picks have to be in Thursday by 6 p.m. So yesterday I sit down, I go, I pull up, I'm ready to make my picks. You've been benched by the commissioner. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, well, I don't even know who the commissioner is. And then I'm searching desperately for this guy that's running the pool. And I'm trying to give him money. And I can't find the information. And I'm searching. And anyhow, I internet sleuthed my ass off on this thing, Tom. Found a way to find his phone number, typed it into the Venmo, and sent him the money with a message. Hey, I'm the guy you benched. Put me back in the game. He's never met me a day in his life. He lives in another state completely. He has no idea who I am. I give him my team name and like, hey, man, we're up against it. It's 5 o'clock on a Thursday. Let's go. I got to get back in there. And just in the nick of time, he took me off the bench. I had found the right guy. I was fearful I had paid some stranger who's not involved in the pool, but I got it right.
Was there a little cartoon? Was there a ref who was like blowing a whistle?
No, it just said, you've been benched by the commissioner. And I knew what it was for, but I'm like, damn it, man, I can't. So, yeah. I was a little nervous. We got to do some red zone, do we not?
We do, but hang on now. You said there were two things. So what's the other thing?
Oh, the other bit of technology was not only figuring out who that guy was, sleuthing it out, and then sending the money and doing all that stuff. The other technical thing that I did was a SeatGeek thing.
Oh.
And
where are you going?
So I got
what night?
I had to do a thing where I forwarded tickets that I had purchased off of SeatGeek to somebody else.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
And that
could be a pain in the butt.
A pain in the ass. Why do these things make it so difficult? I just want this guy to have these tickets that I bought for him, and I'm going to send it to him, and I'm like, oh, here you go. I just want to text it to him. I can't text it to him. Then I'll put it in my Apple wallet and forward it to him. They're like, no, you can't forward tickets from your Apple wallets. I'm like, why not? What's the point of that? So then I'm going through the SeatGeek thing. Like, you need to set up a new password. I'm like, why do I need to set up a new password? I don't want to set up a new password. I have my password. It's a great password.
But they told you that you can't use the same password after you enter the password.
I entered the password in. They're like, you already have this password. You can't do this. And I'm like, okay, well, then fine. I'll add an exclamation point to the end of this password, which I did. And then they're like, okay, great, Mr. Cameron, you're all set. And I'm like, good. I want to forward these tickets. I know you can't do it that way. There were 16 ways on Sunday I couldn't forward these tickets. What is the point of that?
Password now is suck at Clemson with an exclamation point.
Yeah, there you go. But I ended up figuring that out too. Guy got his tickets. We're all good to go. I feel good about that situation. But I did it all within like a 30-minute period. I was like, Tom and Matt Millar would be very proud of me navigating these websites and passwords and PayPal accounts and everything else.
Totally. Yes. Ticket websites specifically
suck.
Are amongst the worst in human history. Yes. For this type of function, remembering passwords, that's the one and only time I've allowed my computer to auto-generate a password. With the ones who's like,
oh yeah, it's crazy. You're like, what is that?
Okay, sure. One day I was weak. I said, sure.
And then you realize you don't know that password.
No,
and never will know that password.
And only my laptop does, because I don't sync it across my devices. And my laptop is not near me. How do I reach these kids?
You got no chance. You got no chance.
That's the last time I ever did that.
Darian, I didn't see your contribution till just now, and I apologize. For clarity, Lady Knoll named Darian. All right. Charlotte Rice, from hour number 1. Charlotte Rice reminds the teachers, we were supposed to have homework. Shut up, Charlotte! Which players that have been out will debut for, I think she means Virginia, not Virginia Tech, and UM. Well, I do think there's no doubt that, and thank you again, Darian, for your contribution. I don't think there's any doubt that we'll start with Kevin Wynn. Juju Wynn is where I'll start. And I think everybody else is. No, I knew how to. Mario, go to hell. I knew how to use Venmo, dumbass. I'm saying that the way I had to find the guy in order to get to do the Venmo to him.
I think that's the first time on these airwaves that you've dropped down.
Oh, he knew better than that. He's doing that to chide me. Knows damn well I know how to use Venmo.
And it worked. Well played.
There you go. But yes, I found the guy.
It's Juju Wynn. I think that's the answer. And you might get Randy Pittman back. He played a game, but that would count for me. That would count that he would be back for one of those two games, if not both.
Well, listen, he's really important when we play the bigger games on our schedule. It's easy to forget about him because you score 70-plus points against East Texas, and now you play Kent State. But we would sorely miss really every aspect of his game if we didn't have him for both Virginia and Miami. So, yes, you're right. I think that's absolutely fair.
Well, and we'll see if he will be available for Virginia, which is also another subplot. We talked about the receivers and cultivating options there. But how about crystallizing roles for the tight ends tomorrow in the limited reps you get with the ones? I think the twos also, you will continue that battle with Biscuit, Landon Thomas, and Amari Williams, for who will be the direct understudy for a conference game.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And I am kind of curious. There's a lot of position battles that will continue deep into the season because guys are so evenly matched. It's a great dynamic to have where that competition just lingers and goes on and on and on because nobody can slip. You got to perform every week, every day of practice, or else the other guy gets elevated because the meritocracy that we're seeing now and the amount of guys getting opportunities, this is different than what we had before. Definitely different. All right, cue it up. Let's do it.
Welcome to the majesty.
Every freaking rep.
The elegance.
To win the game. Oh, he hits the upright. It's no good.
You have entered.
Someone burned down the funeral home. You burnt the funeral home.
Lives will be changed.
Sideline. Touchdown. Unbelievable.
Mothers will cry.
When you see your players give all that they have and you lose that way, it's tough.
Legacies are etched into eternity.
I know who I am.
North, South Dakota was his brother from West Virginia.
This is the Red Zone.
That's good to know.
Protect your family and yourself against rising healthcare costs. Also, find out if you have enough money to retire. Let's just get straight to it. Do you have enough money to retire without running out of money? Some of you midfield, some of you in the red zone, if you will. Reach out to my friends at Artisan Financial Strategies. Find out how they can help you. Artisan Financial Strategies, that is 30-plus years of planning experience. That is world-class resources. Adam is a great Seminole, fellow Knoll, and really smart, really good at what he does. So is his entire team at Artisan Financial Strategies. First down, Tom, fire away, baby.
All right, here's what we're doing. So last week's Red Zone, I'm running it back. The file was corrupted last week, unfortunately. And we had a good discussion first through fourth down.
We sure did, yeah.
Yeah, it was too bad. So
file was corrupted.
Yeah, well, when you go back and watch it, and it's a yeah. So I will try and mirror the questions as best I can. On offense, as we're heading into ACC play, what is the most important thing away from health that you can learn tomorrow about us on the field against Kent State?
Well, again, I think I want to see more emerge at the wide receiver position, and I want to see a group that's deeper than the three that we have right now. That I'm not saying it's vital. They're not going to go 10 deep at wide receiver, but I'd like to go 5 to 6 deep at wide receiver. And so you get a chance with Lewayne McCoy coming back to see just where he's at in his progress coming off that injury. He'll get a chance, I think, to play quite a bit. Now, again, they talk about him being on a bit of a pitch count. The reason that he'll play a lot is, again, because I think he's going to be filling the spot for Squirrel, who I don't think will play a lot. So I'd love to see 2 or 3 guys emerge at wide receiver. I already like what we have with this offensive line. You said we can't talk about health. That's fine. You know what you are at quarterback. You know what you have in that running back room. So for me, it's the wide receivers.
Second down, same question on defense. Most important thing that you can learn tomorrow about this group ahead of ACC play?
Continuing to find depth at linebacker, bolster the linebacker depth, and get more guys out there playing the same way that the starters have up to this point. You know, we do know that a pleasant surprise this year has been when Blake Nicholson has played. He's played well. Rivalry is supposedly now going to maybe dress and be ready to go. I don't know how much he'll play, if at all, tomorrow, but I would like to see that. I'm interested in the depth being grown. You've done a great job with Cryer and obviously Herring and those guys, but I want to see more emerge at linebacker. And, you know, we have been pleasantly surprised by the depth of that defense. There's nothing really we can find out tomorrow because Kevin Wynn's not coming back tomorrow. So, you know, I would have said him. I'm excited to see him play, but I don't think he's going to make his debut until maybe Virginia.
Looking ahead to ACC play and the Virginia game, who do you think is a player, either side of the football, that has been pretty important but not talked about all that much? Is there a guy that you like on either side of the ball that you think he's really important and he might not have the stats, but this guy kind of makes it go a little bit?
Well, unfortunately, I think it's the obvious one. Darrell Jackson is not going to amass a ton of tackles. He's not going to have a ton of pressures or anything like that, but he just engulfs the interior of offensive lines, which frees up this linebacking core to make plays. You've seen the improved play of a Juice Cryer and guys like that. Well, they're free to kind of roam, you know, and just go. Guys aren't getting to the second level, and that's because Darrell Jackson is just a massive human being who's played with great leverage and stayed low, oftentimes eating up 2 blockers. So he's an obvious candidate, but we would talk more about Darrell if you had 4 sacks and 7 tackles for loss or something, but he's the kind of guy that makes it go without getting those numbers. Just by playing it to a neutral, you have the opportunity for other guys to make plays.
So I see Stephen FG in the chat says Sawchuck. I like that answer for the offense too. He's not as sexy a name as Chroma, but Sawchuck has been very, very important on the offense, and I think he will continue to be. And Game Like a Dylan, very quickly, because we only have a minute left, he says, I haven't seen anyone mention us getting stuff to the goal line by East Texas A&M. You should listen to this show. Done it about 2 or 3 times this week.
We've mentioned it a few times, yeah.
4th down. How much can you learn about Miami tomorrow night?
Depends on which Florida shows up. Do they care to be there? Obviously, any Florida that shows up and picks those 5 picks is going to get blown out. I'm going to watch very closely Miami's offensive line, which is very good, going against Florida's defensive line. Florida's defense is straight up good. Now, they've gotten worn down and they've been screwed over by their offense, but their defense is good. And I want to see, does Miami continue to bully people and push folks around that have the ability to do something about it? I think Florida does have something to say in that regard. So I'm looking at the offensive line for Miami tomorrow night against Florida. I think that's the matchup I'm most interested in. I think, we already know what these two teams are or the direction they're headed. But can Florida's defensive line neutralize Miami's offensive line? Because to me, that is also going to be the game for us against Miami. You got to get pressure on Carson Beck. He has shown both at Georgia and now Miami that if you don't, you're dead. He's going to make the right throw. He's going to make an accurate throw. He looks like a pro quarterback when he's not under duress. A lot of people do, but he can really spin it. And their offensive line's been great.
In the last 20 seconds, 5th down. How long is the drive for Papa Cameron to go see his son play football tonight?
2.5 hours.
There will be a taped bonus hour coming up next.
That is upcoming indeed, and it's a good one. We will be at Hotel Indigo tomorrow.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Be well. Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good. Get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right. Get a new roof, got to get eyes on those shimmery new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around.